Hey, hands off the goods there, son.
Oh, sorry.
Hey,
Oh,
hey.
oh, sorry. Hello? Is anyone there in the book?
No,
Hello?
Alexander picks a head of iceberg lettuce.
Ye gads! Is that cold?
Alexander pulls out his magic map. Alexander feels a strange pulling sensation. Alexander decides to brave the boiling pond. And soon realizes a deep sympathy for soup vegetables as he learns the true meaning of being in a stew.
Tickets up. Next.
It looks like Alexander's in a bit of a stew. Hoping to cool down the boiling pond, Alexander throws in a head of iceberg lettuce. The pond's water slowly stops boiling, cooled by the ice. It still looks hot, but bearable. Alexander decides to brave the steaming pond.
Ouch! Ow! Ooh, 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 ouch!
The pond is no longer boiling, but it's hardly bathwater. Alexander takes the old hunter's lamp from the tree. As Alexander continues down the path, he gets the strange feeling that he's being watched.
Come on over here and see what I'm doing with these flowers. Never mind that stone fella on top of the gate. He won't hurt you any. He's just there to scare you. Gotcha this time. Tickets up. Next.
That move was slightly erroneous. Alexander picks up the brick. Alexander is greeted with silence.
I'm Alexander of Daventry. Who are you?
What difference does it make? Just come on over here. I'll tell you my life history if you still want to hear it.
Look here, Archer. Do you mind if I pass?
The archer retains his stony silence.
Tell me.
If it's conversation you want, just come on over here. I'll talk your ears off if we can sit down and talk face to face.
Tell me.
If it's
Look here, Archer.
The archer retains. The stone statue doesn't respond.
Come on through, I say. I can show you a path through the forest. You aren't going to listen to me, are you? Well, we'll just see about that.
That's odd. The gardener just disappeared. Alexander is traveling on a path through... Alexander... Alexander pulls out his magic map. Alexander feels a strange pulling sensation.
Good day,
The dusty shop remains...
How fare you, good man?
I cannot.
Would you mind if I traded this in?
Of course, Prince Alex, please.
Alexander looks closely at...
I believe I'll take the tinderbox.
Very good, Prince Alex. Enjoy your tinderbox and bring it back anytime.
Thank you.
Alexander... Alexander doesn't want to wake up the sleeping oyster. Alexander doesn't want to wake up. Alexander wades into... the ocean current. Alexander wades deeper into the underwater tow is amazingly strong here. Before Alexander can... The currents around the island pull Alexander under. As Alexander struggles to the surface for the third and last time,
Tickets up. Next.
nothing like getting swept off your feet. Alexander wades in. The ocean currents tug at Alex. A string of letters floats in the water. Alexander wades deeper in the underwater before Alexander. The currents around the... As Alexander...
Tickets up. Next.
Nothing like getting swept off your feet. There's no reason to... A string of letters... A string of letters... A string of... Alexander wades... The ocean currents tug at Alex... A string of letters... Alexander's voice gets lost in the rippling of the tide. Alexander wades in. The ocean currents tug at Alex...
Hey,
Oh,
hey.
oh,
There's nothing to do there.
Hey,
oh.
Alexander opens the bargain book and reads a paragraph at random.
2 dulcimers raised to the Duke.
Phew, what an incredibly boring book. No wonder the bookshop owner wanted to get rid of it so badly.
hey.
Oh,
A string of letters... Alexander wades into the ocean currents tug. The magic map doesn't. Alexander pulls out his magic map. Alexander.
Hello. I will be right up. Now.
Alexander is a little old for those.
Good day, Prince Alexander.
There's no reason.
Would you mind if I traded this in?
Of course, Prince Alex. Please choose something in exchange for the items on the counter.
Alexander looks closely at the items on the counter to make his selection.
That mechanical nightingale looks intriguing. I believe I'll take it.
Very good, Prince Alex. It is always a pleasure doing business with you. Enjoy the mechanical nightingale and feel free to bring it back anytime.
Thank you.
Alexander winds the mechanical nightingale and places it on the ground. The mechanical nightingale sings a sweet, tinny tune. The real nightingale in the tree cocks her head and listens intently. The nightingale flies to a lower branch and looks at Alexander curiously, as if she were deciding that this human might not be so bad. A grand old tree stretched. The nightingale sings her crystalline song in the boughs of the old tree. The nightingale looks at Alexander curiously, as though waiting for something.
Hello, little nightingale. Of what do you sing?
The nightingale only looks at Alexander curiously and continues to sing. Alexander holds out his insignia ring to the nightingale, hoping she perhaps is the nightingale that Giallo spoke of, and that she might be able to take the ring to Cosima. The ring is the one thing he has that might alert Cosima to his presence on the Isles. The nightingale swoops down and grabs the ring. She flies off towards the castle, perhaps to Cosima.
Sing, sing. What have you got in your mouth, my pretty? A gold ring? Sing, sing. Where did you get this? Realm of Daventry. But this is Alexander's ring. Oh, my soul. He must be here. Sing, sing. I wish you could tell me what you've seen. Is he really here, then? On this very island? Oh, if only I could leave this castle as easily as you. Take this ribbon, Sing Sing. If you know where he is, return it to him. Please be careful, Alexander. It is so dangerous, and yet I could not wish you away.
The little bird makes a delivery. Alexander feels his pockets carefully to make sure. It's a red velvet hair ribbon. Could it be? Could it possibly belong to Cosima herself?
Or am I merely wishing it were so? Oh.
Alexander holds out the love poem, hoping that the bird will deliver it to the same place she took the ring, in the chance that the receiver might truly be Cosima. The nightingale swoops down, grabs the love poem, and takes it towards the castle.
Sing, sing, my sweet. You bring another present. Let me see. It is a poem, Sing Sing.
What was it when I looked at you? What power has chained me through and through, and binds my heart with links so tight, I cannot live without the sight of you?
Oh, Alexander. I was hoping he'd return to you. Take this to him while he waits. Hurry, my fleet one.
The little bird makes a delivery. It's a note.
Dearest Alexander, I cannot believe you are here, my friend. Please, please be careful. Abdul isn't about to let anyone interfere with his plans. Watch out for Abdul's genie, Alexander, and do not do anything rash. I am not without resources, and I will prevail if I can only find some small means of defense. Do nothing to try to get to me. You must not be endangered again for my sake. Greatly in your family's debt, Cassima.
Alexander's hand trembles as he reads the note. For the first time in his long search, he has heard her voice again, if only in writing. No words of love, only friendly concern. Friend. Is the maiden merely shy, or does she regard him only as a brother? The lady's hair ribbon is made of the finest red velvet. A long strand of black hair is caught in the ribbon. Alexander examines the red ribbon and finds a strand of long black hair. A bit of the wallflower's shyness seems to have rubbed off on the hole in the wall, for he...
What do you want from me? A recitation or something? Leave me alone! Yeah!
Alexander pulls out his magic map. Alexander feels a strange pulling sensation. A string of letters float. The blue ocean stretches on for as far... The ocean is not as calm. Alexander wades deeper into the sea to get the underwater tow is amazed before Alexander can retrieve. The current. As Alexander...
Tickets up. Next.
Nothing like getting swept up. Alexander wades into the sea. The ocean currents tug at him. Alexander wades into the sea to get... The ocean currents tug at him. Alexander pulls out his magic... Alexander feels a strain. Alexander Alexander feels a strange pulling.
Good day, Prince Alexander.
Would you mind if I traded this in?
Of course, Prince Alex. Please choose something in exchange for the items on the counter.
Alexander looks closely at the items on the counter to make his selection.
I believe I'll take the tinderbox.
Very good, Prince Alex. Enjoy your tinderbox and bring it back anytime.
Thank you.
Alexander feels a strange pulling sensation. There appears to be something huge blocks of stone erupt from the granite cliffs. Alexander pulls... Alexander...
Good day, Prince Alexander.
Would you mind if I traded this in?
Of course, Prince Alex. Please choose something in exchange for the items on the counter.
Alexander looks closely at the items on the counter to make his selection.
I believe I'll take the tinderbox.
Very good, Prince Alex. Enjoy your tinderbox and bring it back anytime.
Thank you.
Alexander pulls out his magic map. Alexander feels a strange pulling sensation. There appears to be something etched into the face of the cliff. Huge blocks of stone erupt. Alexander stares with wonder. That's quite a way to welcome a guest, if indeed it is a welcome.
Whoa, wait a minute.
Oh no, Alexander loses his balance.
Whoa! Ow! Hey! Whoa, wait a minute.
Oh no, Alexander loses his balance.
Whoa! Ow! Hey! Hey! Whoa, wait a minute.
Oh no, Alexander loses his balance.
Whoa! Hey, quit making me fall. Whoa, wait a minute. Whoa, wait a minute.
Tickets up. Next.
That wasn't a very logical step.
Tickets up. Next.
That wasn't a very logical step.
Whoa, wait a minute.
Alexander examines the strange etchings in the face of the cliff. Nothing happens. Alexander examines. Nothing happens. Alexander examines. The stone beneath Alexander's feet trembles as more steps emerge from the granite cliffs.
Whoa, wait a minute. 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 Whoa, wait a minute.
Alexander examines the strange etchings in the face of the cliff. The stone beneath Alexander's feet trembles as more steps emerge from the granite cliffs.
Whoa, wait a minute. 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 Whoa, wait a minute.
Alexander examines the strange etchings in the face of the cliff. The stone beneath Alexander's feet trembles as more steps emerge from the granite cliffs.
Whoa, wait a minute. Whoa, wait a minute. Whoa, wait a minute.
Alexander examines the strange etchings in the face of the cliff. The stone beneath Alexander's feet trembles as more steps emerge from the granite cliffs.
Whoa, wait a minute. Whoa, wait a minute. Whoa, wait a minute. Whoa, wait a minute. Whoa, wait a minute.
Alexander finds himself finally at the top of the cliffs. Exhausted, he steps over the lip of the plateau and stands.
Why do you make such an effort to climb the cliffs, young man? The winged ones who live on this island have the power of flight. You could have it too, if you'd only eat a berry from this magical flying nightshade bush. See? The sweet berries will make you float like a petal on the wind. Try some.
All right. I'll try some of your berries.
Oh, goody. Eat quickly, dear boy, and I'll show you the way to the Lord and Lady of this isle.
What?
Slightly bitter, pretty one.
Tickets up. Next.
And then there's some land I have for sale in the death bogs of Tamir.
See? The sweet berries will make you float like a petal on the wind. Try some. Come, stranger, trust me. Think of what I'm offering you.
What do you want from me? A recitation or something? Leave me alone. Yeah.
Grabbing at the old lady wouldn't solve anything.
Young man, you offend me. I try to help you and you insist on being rude. All right then, stay tied to the ground like a load of lead. See if I care. You human.
How odd. The old woman just disappeared in a cloud of smoke. Perhaps those berries are even more powerful than she led Alexander to believe. Alexander crawls through the small opening in the rock. Alexander finds himself in a dark cave. Alexander takes the candle from his tinderbox and uses the flint in the box to light it. Dead end. Nothing that way. Dead end. Alexander crawls through the opening in the rock. The lighting in this part of the cave is better. Alexander extinguishes the candle's flame and places it back in his pack. Alexander takes a few leaves from the plant. As he does so, a strong smell of peppermint is released. Ah! Alexander crawls back into the first room of the cave. Alexander can't see a thing. Alexander takes the candle from his tinderbox. Alexander crawls back through the passage to the top of the cliffs.
Look, an intruder! Hold! How did you get up here, human?
I climbed the cliffs.
That is not possible. No one has solved the cliffs of logic in several centuries, and if the cliffs were to be solved, it would certainly not be by a human.
I didn't mean to trespass. I only wanted to visit this beautiful island.
No visitors have been welcome on the Isle of the Sacred Mountain in years. Not since the Red and White Queens had spies in the guise of friendly visitors steal our island's sacred golden fleece. But we will not display such foolish trust again. You will have to answer to Lord Azure and Lady Ariel. They will determine what will be done with you. I can assure you, it will not be pleasant.
With what trickery did you master the Cliffs of Logic and reach the city of the Winged Ones?
Only the magic of clear thought, my lord. I meant no harm.
The Cliffs of Logic. It is the sacred oracle's prophecy, Azure.
Yes, Ariel. It is lucky for you, human, that climbing the Cliffs of Logic is part of a prophecy that I cannot ignore. We have just been ordered by Wazir Al-Hazred himself to dispose of any strangers that might land on our fair isle. But the prophecy would have a different fate befall you.
The prophecy predicts that whosoever climbs the Cliffs of Logic will defeat the Minotaur. The Minotaur has violated our sacred catacombs and eats our young in sacrifice. Our own daughter, Lady Celeste, was taken there only this morning as his most recently demanded offering.
A dilemma, then. Whom shall I obey in regards to your fate, the oracle or the crown? But since Al-Hazred did not dictate how I was to dispose of intruders, and since you cannot possibly survive the catacombs, your imprisonment there should serve both purposes quite admirably.
I will not resist you in this, my lord. I shall do my best to save your daughter.
First, I must tell you that the catacombs are a labyrinth of rooms, a place of exceeding danger. You will need many tools and clear wits to survive it.
I am ready.
Very well. My guards will take you there now. You seem courageous enough, but the catacombs will determine how brave you really are.
Why did you tell Lord Azure you were ready and willing to face the catacombs? No one is ever ready, and only a fool could be willing.
And you are far wiser, I suppose, to leave a maiden to die, to not fight this plague on your own people?
Bravery and suicide are two different things, human. You will have a chance to renounce your choice soon enough, when you lay trembling under the Minotaur's hooves.
We shall see. Thanks for the escort.
We only escort you to your death. May the fates make it quick so that you do not have to scream long.
The catacomb's entrance door is locked from the outside by the Winged One's guards. It seems that leaving the catacombs by that door is not an option. Niches in the wall form stone burial beds. Ancient bones lie crumbling on the unyielding rock. Alexander examines the stone shelf and the ancient bones, but finds nothing except the dust of the grave. As he walks through the doorway, Alexander gets a very bad feeling about this room.
Tickets up. Next.
Don't just wonder, Alexander. Let your conscience be your guide. Alexander hears the distant sounds of a wild animal somewhere in the maze of rooms. Alexander hears a low growling, so faint as to... Alexander doesn't want to disturb. Alexander picks up the skull. The remains of several unfortunate souls haunt the room. These bones seem more recent than the ancient catacomb bones that Alexander has seen so far. Perhaps they were victims of the Minotaur, or perhaps they died while wandering lost in the maze. 3 of the skeletons are completely intact. Alexander feels the tile he's standing on shift beneath his feet.
Tickets up. Next.
3 spikes and you're out. Alexander picks up the... Alexander can see nothing to do. Alexander feels the tile he's standing on shift beneath his feet.
Uh-oh.
Tickets up. Next.
3 spikes. Alexander takes the shield from the wall. Niches in the wall form stone burial beds. Ancient bones lie crumbling on the unyielding rock. Alexander notices that this skeleton has old coins over its eyes. Alexander finds 2 coins on the skeleton's eyes. He takes the old coins. It's a trap. The doors have sealed Alexander inside. And the ceiling is coming down. Desperate to stop the crushing ceiling, Alexander throws a skull into the grinding gears. The skull is caught between two cogs. The gears shriek and shudder. The skull begins to bulge.
Uh-oh!
With a sudden lurch, the ceiling completes its descent.
Yikes!
And presses Alexander into the floor like a bug under a heel. That skull wasn't strong enough to endure the pressure, and neither is Alexander's.
Tickets up. Next.
Alexander never was much good at squash. In a desperate move, Alexander throws a brick into the grinding gears. The brick is caught between two cogs. The gears shriek and shudder. The mechanism grinds to a halt. The ceiling is stuck. The trap is sprung. Alexander hears the distant sounds of a wild animal somewhere in the maze of rooms.
Sounds! A trap floor!
Alexander seems to have fallen to a lower level of the catacombs. Wherever he is, the place sure is dark. Alexander can't even see his hand in front of his face. Alexander hears the scrabble of hooves in the dark room.
Hello?
Tickets up. Next.
Caught in the dark, Alexander? Alexander takes the candle from his tinder box and uses the flint in the box to light it.
Aha! So that's why it's dark in here. A torch is out.
Alexander lights the extinguished torch and puts his tinderbox away. Alexander hears the sound of a wild beast again, this time so loud that the creature itself seems to be in the same room with him. The noises are coming from the other side of the east wall. Alexander puts the hole in the wall on the east wall. The hole in the wall trembles slightly with dread at the clammy feeling of the stones. Alexander peers through the hole in the wall and sees just another room in the catacombs. Aha! Not just another room at all. So that's why Alexander couldn't find the Minotaur's lair. At least Alexander now knows the lair exists, somewhere in the maze on the other side of this wall. While Alexander contemplates what he's just seen, the hole in the wall, frightened by the Minotaur, makes a run for it. Alexander hopes the little creature finds its way home to the Isle of Wonder. The walls of the catacombs are rough and cold to the touch.
This tapestry looks familiar. Now let's see. I don't feel anything. Aha! A hidden latch.
Alexander triggers the little latch. A secret door rolls open.
Your struggles are useless.
It's the Minotaur, and he's struggling with a Winged One's girl. She must be Lady Celeste.
Excuse me. I demand the release of that maiden this instant, you fiend.
Lady Celeste looks wildly around the room for the source of the strange voice and spots Alexander.
You there, human! Help me! Help!
Who dares enter my lair?
I ask you to release your captive or suffer the consequences.
Never. You die, human.
As the Minotaur advances in attack, Alexander slowly backs away. Until he can back away no more.
Now where to, little man?
That would have little effect on the That shield won't do...
Now you die!
I...
Tickets up. Next.
There's something to be said for taking the bull by the horns, Alexander. Alexander, his back inches from the fiery pit, tempts the Minotaur with the Red Queen's scarf.
Look here, you bully. Nice, bright red.
Red. Now you die!
The Minotaur drops from sight amidst the consuming flames. Slowly, his scream fades as well.
Have you been harmed, Lady Celeste? Are you all right?
No, I am not all right. I assume you do not intend to leave me tied up on this vile monstrosity.
Of course not. Sorry. Let's see. If you'll give me a moment, I'll have these untied in no time.
I can't wait that long. Look, I wear a small dagger just inside my belt. It should be enough to cut the rope.
Oh, all right. I've got it, Lady Celeste. Here we go.
Thank you. You may keep the dagger as a gift for saving my life.
That's very generous.
Forget it. Do you mind if we just get out of here now?
The Winged One's guards, bored with the pointless waiting, are startled by the sound of rock moving against rock.
Lady Celeste, bide thee well.
I'm quite well, thanks to the bravery of a mere human. So much for your superior intellects.
Yes, milady.
Now bring him along. I'm going home.
I see you have proven yourself the hero of the prophecy. Well, I am expected to thank you for saving my daughter's life, so I thank you. I am obliged to thank you for the restoration of our sacred catacombs. It means much to our people. We have already begun the process of clearing the deadly traps from its rooms. It is also my duty to grant you a visit with the Oracle, so this I do. I will grant you the freedom to leave here unharmed, despite my orders to the contrary from the Crown. But there, my obligations to you end. I have no love for Alhazred, but he is my liege, and if Princess Cassima trusts him and wishes to wed him, my guards will take you to the Oracle now. When your time with her is through, I want you to leave the City of the Winged Ones and never return. I don't know who you are or what you want here, but I will not disobey my crown further.
I thank you, Lord Azure. I will respect your wishes.
Hail to thee, great oracle. Lord Azure sends you this wingless mail. It appears that he solved the cliffs of logic and...
defeated the Minotaur in his lair. So I have seen. So this is the one that haunts my pool of late. Welcome, young seeker. What knowledge do you desire?
Princess Cassima, whatever you can tell me, great oracle.
Ah, of course, the princess. That explains my images. Let us see what we can see. I see a maiden, lovely and pure, but surrounded by evil. She is a rose set amidst bitter thorns. It is her fate to be the pawn of dark powers, and yours to try to redeem her.
How? How do I redeem her?
Fate is not like the cut of a blade, young one, but rather like the myriad of paths formed when a hammer cracks ice. I will tell you what I can, but what will actually come to pass is up to you. I see that any attempt to reach the girl will force you into battle, a struggle against a dark force. If you lose, your life will be forfeit.
Who must I fight?
A great darkness surrounds your adversary, preventing me from seeing clearly. I can only make out the shape of a black cloak. But before this final struggle, I see an infiltration, a dangerous game of hide-and-seek in corridors filled with enemies. The risks are high, but it is the only way to reach the one you seek. There is more than one way into this place. Your choice will dictate much.
What else do you see, mighty Oracle?
Oh, such pain. I see two restless spirits crying out for revenge. These shades could help you destroy the dark force if they were to be brought back from their spiritual form. Yet this is only one possible path to your destiny. I'm afraid this is getting beyond me. I know very little about the afterlife. I can only advise getting counsel from the Druids. Be warned. The Druids are reclusive and dangerous. They might aid you, or they might destroy you. Like their island, the Druids' nature is hidden in the mists. There is nothing more I can do for you, except to give you this. It is water from the sacred pool. That and my blessing go with you.
Thank you, great Oracle.
Alexander pulls out his magic map. Alexander feels a strange pulling sensation. There's no reason. Alexander the ocean currents tug. A string of letters floats in the water. The letters spell out, "Where are you going?" Alexander's heard of alphabet soup, but this is ridiculous. A string of letters floats in the water. The letters spell out, "Where..." A string of letters. The ocean is not as The ocean is not as calm as it appears. The ocean is not as calm as the ocean is not the ocean is not Alexander wades deeper into the sea to get this. The underwater tow is before Alexander. The currents around the as Alexander struggles to the surface for the third and last time, he
Tickets up. Next.
Nothing like getting swept off your feet. Alexander. The ocean is not as calm as the ocean is not as calm. The ocean is not a The ocean is not as Alexander wades deeper into the sea to get the strange object in the water. The underwater tow is amazingly strong here. Before as Alexander
Tickets up. Next.
Nothing like getting swept. Alexander. Alexander picks up the object floating in the water. It appears to be a string of letters. They say, "Where are you going?" Alexander decides to keep the odd sentence, even though it is incomplete. There's no reason to use that on a pile of books. There's no reason to... Alexander... Alexander feels a... The sentence seems to only have one thing to say. Where are you going? Alexander is carrying, oddly enough, a sentence. It says, where are you going? Alexander decides to pass through the gate, preparing the shield just in case. The magic arrow completely shatters the shield. Good thing the arrow didn't hit Alexander.
Sorry about that arrow, friend.
The stone archer looks resigned and does not reply. Alexander pulls out his Alexander feels a strange pulling sensation.
Hello? Is anyone there in the books?
No, there's no one here. Hey, hands off the goods there, son.
Oh, sorry.
Hey.
Oh.
Piles of stacked books, looking ready to topple at any moment, have been arranged haphazardly on the sandy ground. The tail end of this island is a riotous scramble of books, sand, and a spider's web.
Hey.
Oh. Hello? Is anyone there in the books?
No, there's no one here.
Hello?
No!
Oh, so there you are, handsome. What can I do for you now? Have you changed your mind? My offer of dead Wedlock is still open.
Hey!
Oh. Oh.
Hey!
Oh.
Hey!
Oh. Hello? Is anyone there in the books?
No, there's no one here.
Hello?
No!
Alexander is greeted with silence.
Oh.
Alexander sees...
Hey!
Oh.
There's no reason to use that. There's no reason. There's no reason to use. Piles of stack. Piles of stack. Piles of stacked books, looking ready to topple at any moment, have been arranged haphazardly on the sandy ground. There's no reason to use that object.
Hey! Hands off the goods there, son!
Oh, sorry. Oh,
Hey, hands off the...
oh,
Hey,
oh.
hey.
Oh.
Alexander pulls out his magic map. Alexander feels a strange pull.
Jalo, my friend, is the wedding still moving forward at the castle?
Prince Alex, egads, yes, that confounded wedding has a whole castle a-bustle. Look, I didn't come here to talk about that, though. I came to warn you.
Warn me? About what? Isn't the wedding bad enough?
No, listen. The Wazir knows that you're here, Alexander. He's posted extra guards, and he's telling them about a foreign saboteur. Who else could he mean but you? The Wazir's genie must have learned of your presence in the land, Prince Alex. I don't know how, but he must have.
I haven't exactly been discreet, I'm afraid.
Alexander, this is serious. Alhazred will never let you get close to Cassima now. He stumbled the castle guard, probably to make sure you keep out. Gadzooks! Oh, it's too bad there isn't some way to convince Alhazred that you've left the islands or even died. If he thought you were out of the way, you might be able to get close enough to...
What an interesting thought. Tell me more about this genie.
The genie's name is Shamir Shemazel. Alhazred brought Shamir with him when he came to this kingdom. Shamir probably won't directly threaten you, but that doesn't mean he isn't dangerous. He can be a terrible trickster and an ingenious spy. It's too bad we can't get our hands on Shamir's lamp. If we had that lamp, Alhazred and all of our problems would be solved. Wouldn't that be a fine thing?
You would wish to be master of such a wicked creature?
Oh, Shamir isn't necessarily evil. Genies never are, you know. They only reflect their owner's heart, for good or ill. Alhazred is hardly a shining example for an impressionable genie.
So how do you propose we go about getting Shamir's lamp?
What? Oh, Prince Alex, I was only dreaming. I mean, the lamp is heavily guarded. It would be easier to steal Alhazred's own trousers while he's wearing them than it would be to get that lamp.
But surely a clown's hands are quick and agile.
Well, yes, they are, as a matter of fact. But then the theft would be detected almost immediately. And then... my poor neck.
If the theft were detected.
Oh, I see. Yes, well, there might be a slim chance, but only that. If you could find a replica of the genie's lamp, an exact replica, I might be able to make the swap. I alone might get close enough. But I couldn't tell you what to look for. I caught a glimpse of it only once. I would know it if I saw it again, but to say I cannot.
Well, I'll just have to see what I can do.
Good luck to you then, Prince Alex. I really must be going back to the castle. I don't think I'll be able to come back here. If we were spied on, well, it's too high a risk. I hope you understand. If I see Cassima, I'll tell her I saw you. If you do ever make it to the castle, look me up. And do be careful, friend.
I will. Goodbye, Jollo. Thanks for all your help. How fare you, merchant?
I have been reading too much love poetry lately. It is rather depressing to an old bachelor like me.
Alexander has no desire to leave that. Alexander rests his feet for a moment. Alexander picks up and leafs idly through a book called The Chain. Well, that was refreshing.
How much for that book on the counter, merchant?
It is a fine book, is it not? I obtained it from the estate of the one and only magician this kingdom has ever had. Poofed himself into an aardvark in the end, or so I heard. I never found the spells all that useful myself, but then I lead a boring life. I tell you what, if you can find another rare book, something a bit more marketable, I might be willing to exchange the spelled book for it.
Alexander.
Hello?
What do you think you're doing?
I'm sorry. I didn't realize these books had an owner. I'm in need of a rare book.
No owner? All books have owners, my good man. And this book owner, bookworm to you, wouldn't part with one of his books for anything.
Isn't there something I can do for you to pay for the book?
Let's see. Do you have an itinerant clause?
No. No clauses at all, I'm afraid.
As an exception, you always should.
Don't mind oxymoron and diphthong. They're fairly limited grammatical principles, you know. Let's see. A marsh pig that does Texas?
No. I'm afraid not.
A dangling participle?
I'm fresh out.
A purple fiddle whacker?
No, I don't think so. Sorry.
An idiosyncrasy, perhaps?
Afraid not.
Ha! Then what good are you?
Alexander pulls. Alexander feels. Perhaps Alexander ought to find out more about the...
Hello, friend. Aren't you an odd-looking little fellow?
I'm not odd-looking.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize you could speak.
Speak not? Funny is, speech I am and nothing but.
The rocks are silent.
You speak strangely, friend.
Strange, my speech is not. Eloquence I speak with.
But who are you? And why are you here?
Away I fly my home from. Lost I am therefore. As my name too, can you guess not? It's what I do this branch with, and the way I speak of.
If you're lost, perhaps I can take you home.
Take me home too? Think not I do. Know you I do not.
Alexander holds the sentence out to the creature.
This sentence seems in need of an ending. Perhaps you could finish it?
Where are you going? Where are you going? Know what I do. Where are you going to? Like you I do. Go I with you?
Well, that was certainly interesting. It looks like Alexander now has a passenger. Alexander pulls out his magic map. Alexander Alexander is greeted with silence.
Are you there, most venerable bookworm?
Do you have anything interesting yet?
A regular abnormality?
Let me see what I have. I found this little fellow lost on another island.
Coming home I am too.
There you are, you naughty boy. I told you not to leave the island.
Glad I am seeing you too.
A most solemn celebration.
So, you found my dangling participle. I suppose I'll have to give you something. Let's see now. Was it a rare book you wanted?
Yes, sir.
Well, then none of these will do. They've been sitting in the sun far too long and must be well cooked by now. This one is far more rare. A delicious little tidbit.
Thanks.
Alexander pulls out his magic map. Alexander feels a strange pulling sensation.
Hello. I will be right up. Now, what can I do for you?
I found this rare book, and I thought of your offer.
Very interesting. It is a wonderful riddle book. Riddles are much more marketable than spells these days. I guess people believe more in mirth than in magic. Here is the spell book you wanted, and a fair trade it is, I must say. Enjoy it.
I certainly hope so. We shall see how rusty my spellcasting truly is.
Alexander pulls out. Alexander feels a strange pulling sensation. Alexander takes the teacup. Alexander picks up the bottle. Alexander gives one of the baby's tears a bottle of milk. The other baby's tears seem to resent Alexander's gift for some reason. Alexander collects some of the baby's tears in the old hunter's lamp.
What do you think you're doing? You startled me. I was just getting some swamp ooze.
Well, you certainly won't get it there! That's not swamp ooze! That's swamp muck!
He's right, you know. But he could be a little nicer about telling you. He's not a very pleasant stick in the mud.
Nobody asked you! Be quiet!
Oh, the trials of being a mere bump on a log.
I thought this might come in handy the next time your brother starts picking on you.
Aha! Finally, old Bump on the Log's not so defenseless, is he?
Hey! Hey! What you doing there? Watch the pulp, would you?
Now, Bumpy, remember all I've given you. The only thing you've ever given me is mud. Take this.
No! Not into the swamp!
Hey, okay, I give up. Geez, sorry.
Well, I guess it's not very pleasant having things thrown at you.
I'm sorry. You mean it? Really? Brother? Brother!
Stick in the Mud and Bump on a Log, exhausted from the battle, immediately doze off into naps. Rotten Tomato, being equally lazy, decides to join them. The swamp gurgles. The swamp.
How are you finding your new surroundings, Mr. Tomato?
Can't you see I'm snoozing? All right, you're done good. Now, go play in the street or something. Yeah.
There's no Alexander fills the teacup with the swamp ooze. This is the last page. Alexander pours the contents of the oracle's vial into the hunter's lamp with the baby's tears. The vial, now empty of its sacred fluid, disintegrates. Taking off your adventurer's cap so soon?